part 2 for step 7. In this final step, final part, we are going to need your artwork in your art book, and you're going to need a black marker and the 3 primary color markers, yellow, red, and blue. And if this is going to be on your page, this pop art color option, if you want to print it off, my virtual students, just to have with you, otherwise it's on your page, it's on this video. So here are all the options. In part 1, I had you do your Band-Aid dots first, so you needed at least one area that you could incorporate Band-Aid dots. You can have more, but you need at least one. And then for this step, you need at least show one of each of the primary colors. So in my example, I did yellow, I did red. So all I would need is blue. But looking at what I need to fill in, I have this background, I have my can, and then I have the word fizz. In my can, I will give you the option if you want to color in different areas of the can, with the colors that your markers available. That's fine. You can make all of this blue or one color, or you can color in those different parts that are sectioned off different colors. Your choice. Another thing is try to separate your colors. So I did a Band-Aid dot red design here. In this background right here, I'm not going to continue the dot design. I'm going to do a different solid color design. Okay, I'm not going to continue the red dot design, I guess. So just making sure that they're different. White is also an option, so you can leave one of the areas blank. Do not worry about the background. That just remains white. I want you to leave that white, but you can use white in other areas too. So your choice. What we're going to do today is I'm going to just do a marker demonstration and finish coloring in my can with markers available, these markers. If you do not have markers, this is a marker project, so maybe talking to an adult at home, seeing if you can get a pack of fresh markers. Let me know if you need some, otherwise crayons and colored pencils would work too. But I am doing a marker demonstration for this project. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start in the middle and work my way out with washable markers like these. Be careful, they tend to smear pretty quickly if you're using and coloring and you're going all over the place if you're not lifting your hand up correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a blue, and I'm going to color in my words. So I want you to pick one color for each section except for the can. So with this, I'm just going to keep it all consistent and use one color to color in my bubble letters. So when you're doing markers, especially in this area, everyone's bubble letters are different sizes. So what I like to do is just get the edges first, being extra careful along the edge, and then going up and down motion. With markers, if you create an up and down motion, that makes kind of a nice even look to them. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing to each one of my letters. And I'd like you to try that as well. Feel free to move your art book around. Makes it a little bit easier to outline and color in using marker. And even with these lines right here, just doing simple straight lines after you outline, or after you get the edges of coloring, so I'll show you in just a moment. Right now I'm just trying my best to pay attention. So just going down once makes a nice even coat of marker. All right. Very carefully, try your best to stay in the lines. If you have thinner washable markers, this would be a good place to use them in the letters in the smaller space, but ultimately these thicker ones are going to work much better coloring in larger spaces. So I have all of my primary colors, but my work still looks pretty incomplete. So I'm going to continue reusing. Again, you can leave areas white. I kind of have an idea of what I want to leave white. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep working, starting from the middle, working my way out. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part of the can. And I'm going to use a red. So I want you to watch very carefully when you're coloring in with your marker. If you look closely at this solid red right here, you notice that I've started at the top. I did the edges first. You can kind of see the markings. Then I started at the top and I did straight controlled lines from the top all the way to the bottom. I want you to try that. I don't want you to color in all different directions. It makes it look really messy. So trying that with each one of the areas that you do. So again, I kind of do like I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm going to outline first, because that just kind of sets up a nice barrier, helps me stay in the lines, because that's very important for this project. Not rushing. I'm going to do that section first, and now starting at the top, the only strokes you should see are the outlining around the edges, and then the up and down gives it a nice clean look. Clean and even look. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do red down here. Again, outlining the edges. And then starting on this side and working my way all the way across. If you notice how you push down your marker, my marker lines look really thick because I'm kind of pushing down at an angle. And this is the way I want you to try it. Okay, makes it a nice, clean, even look. Alrighty. The options, the options, the options. So I could still continue to color my can in red. But I think what I'm going to do is kind of change it up a little bit. So again, just with any area that you're working on, make sure you do the same thing. Outlining, going around the edges first. And then nice, even up and down strokes with your marker, controlled, making it solid. Go ahead and color the inside of my can, like the opening, black. Your choice. I'm gonna keep that white rim. I think I'm gonna do the inside of the can top blue. So again, very carefully outlining. In smaller areas, it's a little tricky, so using the point of your marker. And then I'm going to leave those white. I think I'm going to use yellow to do my background lines, and then I'll be done. So I need to see at least one of the primary colors, but black is an option, white is an option, but you don't have to use them. Okay, so I need to see at least one dot, and I need to see each of the primary colors. And nothing should be right next to each other. So just going over those rules again. So for the rest of the video, I'm just going to go ahead and do each one of these background. Again, moving around, moving your art book around makes it a little bit easier. You can go ahead and get started. This is the final step.